Hey y'all, it's June the 29th, 2017, and today I want to talk to y'all about something that I feel is pretty well serious. And in fact, it affects a lot of people I know, a lot of people, right? Very serious topic matter that we got to go into. But before we do so, I want to explain something to you. As of recently, especially recently in my life, I've been losing more and more and more body fat as time goes on. All right, especially as of the recent past year, couple years. All right, it just seems to come right off. All right, and a lot of people might look at me and say, "Oh man, that guy's a lucky duck. He's quite fortunate. It's probably all in his genes and stuff and he's so lucky that he just seems to be continuously losing body fat." Here's the thing. I mean, I had to cut new notches in my belt. I've noticed, all right. I continuously am losing more and more body fat. All right. Not only that, I'm not saying this to brag or anything like that. I'm saying that as a matter of fact, is that I notice that when I go around places, more and more ladies be looking at me. And don't think that I don't notice you doing it. All right. Don't think I don't notice y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you look thirsty. All right, and I don't blame you. All right, to be honest with you, and I'm not saying that as a matter of to brag. What I'm saying is, you can see it physically. It's very apparent that my body fat has been just decreasing and decreasing. And I'm not gonna take off my shirt or anything. You're just gonna have to take my word for it that my musculature is becoming more and more visible every single day. Like right now, you can see more muscles all over my body that you never been able to see before in my life. I've never been in the shape that I have ever been in my life. All right. And I want to bring that up because I feel like it's going to help a lot of people out there who have problems with their weight. They have weight issues and they're struggling with that right now. All right. You already know, like I said, I've been losing body fat. What I have to explain to y'all is my whole life, my whole entire life, I've never been what you would call fat, but I've always had extra weight. All right, you might refer to it as being husky or chunky. I've heard all these words. All right, my whole life had it. Never really affected my self-esteem too much. I never really overthought the fact that I always had this extra layer of body fat on me. I had to also bring up the fact that I've always been pretty well active. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing soccer since I was 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? After I stopped playing soccer all throughout my high school years, afterwards, I got into running. I really like running, bicycling, walking long distances. I'm known for doing it. I've especially been doing it these past few years. All right, but what I got to explain to you is all the activity that I've been known to do and stuff like that. It didn't matter. I always had a layer of body fat, and this body fat is coming off right now. It's continuing to do so. I keep having to cut notches in my belt. All right, and you keep seeing more and more different muscles popping up on my body. All right, see. The whole reason why I wanted to tell y'all about this is because, like I said, I know a lot of people out there are struggling with their weight and stuff. They have issues with it, and inevitably it will turn into different various health problems for you. I've noticed this is an expanding trend in that when I was younger, you would notice older people and they would be getting fatter. These older people, they would just be getting fatter, and they would blame it on getting old and their age and stuff, and their metabolism slowing down and stuff. They said, "Well, I just can't help it. I'm getting fatter." All right, that's been the trend since I was little. However, there's always been, since I was little, the term baby fat. All right, I know everybody's heard that word. That's a term that people used to use because small children would have a layer of fat on them, and then as they grew into their adolescence, the fat would come off. That's why it's called baby fat. That's why it was called that, right? And during their adolescence, all the fat would come off. They would get actually pretty dang skinny, and then maybe they would grow older and older and older and to an old person, and then they would get fatter again. All right. What I got to explain to you is what I see more often than not is children out there who aren't losing their baby fat necessarily. In fact, I'll see adolescent children out there who I love and care about who are fatter in their adolescence than they were as children. All right, this is like a new trend that I'm seeing. All right, so what I'm describing to you is something of an epidemic that's just only spreading. Right, and the reason why I'm bringing it up is because this epidemic, these trends that are spreading, they're based on lies. You've been lied to, and I know that's a reoccurring thing here in this channel, but you've been lied to a lot, a whole heap. All right, about how it is that you're supposed to maintain weight, how you can lose body fat if you want, if you so choose to do so. All right, you've been lied to on such a multitude that it's hard to swim through all the lies, and I promise you that they are. And there's a whole multitude, like I said. Just to be real brief, and I'm going to describe this in further detail on the next video. To be real brief, I know y'all been told certain things like, oh, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. All right, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You want to be a smart student, you better eat you some breakfast. That's how you're a productive member of society. That's actually a terrible lie. In fact, that's one of the most dangerous things that you could do is breakfast. And like I said, I'll go into more detail in that video later. Real briefly, on a personal note, I want to describe to you that I'm a very good cook. Everybody who knows me knows that I can cook my damn ass off, right? And this has been since I was little, right? Real briefly, the way I learned how to cook, the first time I learned how to cook was cooking my own breakfast, right? The reason is because as a child, I would oversleep, and didn't nobody wait for me to wake up. They would just eat all the breakfast. And so therefore, I would come downstairs. Guess what? Ain't no more breakfast. So I would have to learn how to cook my own breakfast, and that's what I did. That's how I first began to learn how to start to cook. Always been a very big fan of breakfast. Meanwhile, in my latter years, I've been figuring out that that's only one of the multitude of lies. Breakfast is actually kind of a terrible idea. Like I said, we'll cover that more in the next video. But another lie, for example, would be the food pyramid. Food pyramid is one of the most destructive, absurd lies that I've ever seen in my life. Right? In fact, I remember as a child seeing the food pyramid that y'all all seen with the different levels and stuff, like at the grades. I remember seeing that as a kid and thinking to myself, how in the world is somebody going to eat all this food? How in the world can you do it? Like, where do you get the time from that you could eat all these servings every single day? It doesn't make any sense. As a little kid, I said that to myself. And then later on, I realized just how destructive that lie is as well. The food pyramid is absolute blasphemy, but we're going to cover all sorts of different lies in the series of videos that's going to take place. All right. This is a preliminary video where I want to explain, all right, yeah, you've been lied to. All right. And there's a reason why you have body fat on you that you can't get rid of, is because unfortunately you bought into the lies. All right. It's a simple adjusting of your lifestyle, and that you stop buying into lies and you really start listening to your own body and people who know things about health and losing their body weight and stuff like that. It's when you decide that you're going to not buy into the lies no more. You're gonna start putting yourself on a track, on a lifestyle, which might not be exactly like mine. I'm not saying it has to be, but you'll put yourself on a lifestyle path that makes it to where your body fat is gonna fall off. And here's what I can promise you: it's not gonna take effort, dude. There's nothing about effort about it. It has nothing to do with effort. And I also want to bring up the fact is, as far as willpower, because here's the thing. I've heard people bring up diet strategies and stuff since I was little, and ever since I was little, when they described their little diet strategies to me, I would cringe. All right, it just sounded gross, because here's the thing: I don't have willpower. All right, like for example, if I want something, if I want it bad enough, what I gotta explain to y'all, I'll get it. All right, period. Dude, I don't think about like, oh man, I wish I could have those cookies, but I don't want to get fatter and stuff. I've never thought about that in my life. If I want those cookies on that plate, I'm gonna get them. Like, it's to the point where do not leave food around me. right? If you leave delicious food around me and don't tell me explicitly to not eat it, when you come back, that food's gonna be gone, right? That's what it is. I don't have any willpower. There's no willpower involved. As far as effort, there really hardly isn't any effort involved. Because what I gotta explain to y'all real briefly before we get out of here is, like I said, I've been active my whole life, all right? On and off, here more so than other. Certain times I'll be more active than others, but for the most part, I wake up and my body starts moving. I'd start doing things, all right, until I go to sleep. This has always been the case. But however, the body fat that I'm losing currently, that's more drastic than it has ever been, what I gotta explain to you is it hardly has anything to do with exercise in the sense that people are thinking about it now, as far as like Total 90s and all these, you know what I'm talking about, like those certain gyms where you tear yourself apart and stuff. I'm not actually losing body fat because I'm torturing myself with all sort of effort and physical activity. First of all, I like physical activity, but what I gotta explain to you is over the past couple months, I've actually not been working out hardly at all. Like, I have a gym subscription and I haven't been to the gym for well over a month. All right, it's been quite a long time since I've even done any sort of sit-ups or anything like that, core workouts, and I do like core workouts. There's all sort of different things that we're going to wind up discussing that are actually better for you than sit-ups. But it's been a long time since I've even done any sort of sit-ups or anything like that. Meanwhile, you can see my abs more so today than ever in my life. All right, and it only continues to get more defined. And meanwhile, I'm not working out as much as I normally do. All right, so the effort is off the table. The whole willpower thing is off the table. I mean, I gotta explain to y'all, dude. I know exactly what it is to be hungry and not know where your next meal is coming from. I felt that feeling. I know y'all felt that feeling out there from time to time. All right, it happens to the best of us. All right. What I got to explain to you is I haven't felt that particular feeling for well in excess of a decade. I do not starve. I do not want for anything. There's no willpower in the lifestyle that I'm living. It doesn't take extra effort. Meanwhile, the fat is kind of pouring off me. And what I'm here to tell you is, no matter all your excuses, you might have a lot of excuses because you've been filled up with lies. All right. No matter all your excuses, your body is absolutely as capable of doing what my body is doing. It's the same amount of capable. Your body can absolutely do it. It's not going to take effort. It's not going to take willpower. It's just going to take me explaining to you that you've been lied to in certain ways, you getting angry about that, and finding out for yourself what you really need to do. All right, and I gotta explain to you, you can listen to anybody that you want to about losing weight and how to lose weight and keep that weight off and stuff. Here's what I want to explain to you. I'm about to make a series of videos that will absolutely, I guarantee it, make sure that weight comes off of you. You're not going to pay me a cent. You're not going to pay me a dime. I'm not going to ask you for a dime. Meanwhile, you can go out all day if you want and find people talking about, oh, you need this kind of shake. Oh, you need this kind of diet plan. We got it for you. Oh, you need this kind of machine. Oh, you need to wrap this thing around your stomach and you need to plug it into a wall. Like, honestly, people are going to tell you these things. If that's what you want to listen to, go ahead and listen to it. You're going to pay them money, by the way. They're going to take your money. And it does not matter if you lose your body fat. So, or you can listen to someone like me. I'm not going to make one shiny nickel off of what it is I'm telling you. And so you might want to think to yourself, well, then why is he telling me this? Why is he actually going through the effort to tell me this, even though he makes exactly $0.00 off of it? Why? Well, the reason is because you've been lied to, and I don't appreciate that. I don't like being lied to and stuff. And you don't have to live this way. You can have a lot less body fat if you wanted to. And if you want body fat on you, then that's cool. We're in America. You can do whatever you want. But if you want that body fat off of you, you don't want to put all that much effort into it. You don't want to have willpower and starve yourself. But you want the body fat to come off. Guess what? I'm about to tell you how to do it. All right, it's real easy. So stay tuned for the next video and a series of videos, which I'm gonna break it down for y'all. All right, it's tribulation, by the way, and I'll holler at y'all. It's June the 29th, 2017.